Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Man. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, share this with your friends and family on social media, and of course, subscribe. Today, we have some big recruiting news, including update on Javian Osborne and Michigan in the market to flip another 5-star from LSU. We'll tell you all about it. And of course,
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, them. And I'm gonna tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state. And of course, as always, I'm upset.
I want to kick things off with 4-star cornerback out of Roanoke, Virginia, Jaziel Hart. Jaziel is a friend of the channel. We interviewed Jaziel right here. Some of you may remember. That said, he was well-spoken, spoke highly of the Wolverines, and recently was back in town to visit A2 and get his eyes on practice and what's going on, how the coaches are calling it, and all of that, formations, that sort of thing. And from when I spoke with him, he was, again, very high on Michigan, spoke glowingly of the experience, also gave some insight into the things that he saw at practice. With that said, some services have dropped Jaziel from a 4-star to a 3-star, which I think is absurd. He's an absolute stud. If you watch his film, absolutely deserves to be a 4-star. On 3 still ranks him as a 4-star. In fact, he is an on 300 prospect according to On 3. But other services, like I said, have for whatever reason decided to drop him in their recruiting rankings, which is crazy to me. That said, Jaziel definitely would have a path to playing early at Michigan if he applied himself. I think he understands that. He's taken visits to other schools, including Penn State, which he's visited several times as well. But I think if Michigan really presses the gas, if Lamar Morgan and company really push it for Jaziel Hart, they would be able to land him. That's just my gut feeling on it. We'll keep you updated with more as it becomes available regarding Jaziel. In addition to Hart, Michigan also welcomed on 300 cornerback Jordan Thomas out of New Jersey to campus as well. He and his family visited the Wolverines. His mother had great things to say about the experience. He is a 6'1" prospect out of New Jersey, absolute stud in his own right, ranked 202 in the country, the 22nd ranked corner and the 3rd ranked player in the state of New Jersey, according to On 3. He also plays the offensive side of the football for his high school out of Bergen Catholic in Oradell, New Jersey. That said, this is a guy that I really have had my eyes on as well for Michigan. I think he'd be a great fit in Michigan's defensive backfield. We'll keep you posted as more information becomes available. But Jordan Thomas and his family were also on campus recently and spoke very highly of the Wolverines. I do think he takes a visit to the other state next. We'll keep you posted as more information becomes available on Jordan. Moving right along, though, something that is even a little more near and dear to Michigan fans. Top 100 running back Javian Osborne recently released a top 2 and may have surprised some people as Notre Dame joined Michigan in that top 2. And some believe that Notre Dame may have even surpassed Michigan and overtaken them in the top spot. He recently visited South Bend, really hit it off with the coaches over there. He and his father both spoke about the similarities in Notre Dame and Michigan as programs. They spoke about both coaches being young, African American coaches, something that they can relate to. Also, being young African American coaches at such prestigious universities. He also mentioned that Javian wants to get into business and that both schools offer great business school programs. That said, is there anything like the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan? That should be a great selling point for Michigan once they're able to speak with him again. He went on to talk about his experience with Tony Alford and how, he's been in constant contact with Tony Alford over the last year or so, and the experience in seeing Michigan's practice and how that was the different formations that Chip Lindsey is implementing in this new offense for the Wolverines, which is also a great selling point for them. But Notre Dame is a real threat and should be considered a real threat to the Wolverines. That said, I still like Michigan's chances here to land Javian Osborne. I think one of the things, if you're a Notre Dame fan, one of the things that they would be able to sell to him is possibly the path to starting. Once Jeremiah Love is gone, then it's really, anybody's ball game. Whereas with Michigan, you really, really have to apply yourself to get a starting role in the next year or so in this backfield, depending on how things shake out. That said, keep it locked right here to the channel for more updates regarding Javian and Jordan Thomas. We move on. Finally, let's talk about Michigan and their efforts to flip another 5-star recruit right from under the nose of Brian Kelly and LSU. Again, in this class, this time, it would be a wide receiver, 5-star wide receiver, Tristan Keys. He is actually the 4th ranked player in the country, the number 1 wide receiver in the country, and the number 1 player out of the state of Mississippi. Tristan Keys, 6'2.5" or 6'3", 185 pounds, absolute stud. We're committed to LSU last month, but before committing to LSU, actually visited or was in contact rather with Ron Bellamy and head coach Sharon Moore and was speaking very highly of the Wolverines. If it comes down to an NIL race, the thing is Michigan can compete with anyone. We know that. It's whether or not general manager Sean McGee is willing to go to certain lengths for certain positions, and wide receiver is one of those positions in question. That said, we know that wide receiver is a position of emphasis for the Wolverines this year. Somebody like Tristan Keys could absolutely push the needle, move the needle at that position, thus moving the needle in the form of the quill, if you will, and writing the check to secure the services of someone like himself. There are programs reportedly in the SEC willing to pay upwards of $1.5 million to flip him from LSU. At the very least, I think the price tag is at $1 million, and I believe Michigan can compete with even the 1.5 that is said to be thrown around. That said, it all comes down to whether or not they are willing to play ball in that way. But like I said, Keys, before committing to LSU, was high on the Wolverines. He made mention of Bryce Underwood being the number 1 player in the previous class, noting that Bellamy had been selling him on the Wolverines' need for a lengthy receiver that can go up and high point the football in traffic and make contested catches, something that he is more than comfortable doing. He also said, Bryce is a great player. He's a great athlete all around. And they have one of the top quarterbacks in the country, which, for him to be a true freshman, that's very, very high praise. He went on to say, Coach Bellamy chops it up with me on the phone a lot. I really like Coach Bellamy. He lets me know that I am a priority and that I would be a good fit. Coach Moore knows what he's doing with this program. We talked ball. It was good. So this, ladies and gentlemen, would be a real difference maker. I know the Wolverines picked up some real difference makers on the outside in this past class, but continuing that streak, you should never rest on your laurels, if you will. You want to stack that sort of talent, and Tristan Keys would be a great piece in doing just that. Guys like Andrew Marsh, Jamar Browder, we know we picked up in the last class. Jacob Washington, who's not even on campus yet from the last class. So there's some real talent at wide receiver still just from the last class, but a guy like Tristan Keys can really move the needle. A guy like Jalen Pyle, who Michigan already has in the fold in this class, really moved the needle. Jalen Pyle, I believe, another guy that should be getting a 4-star added next to his name in due time. In fact, in short order, the way he's out here high pointing the football, embarrassing defensive backs across the country. So this guy, Tristan Keys, would absolutely be a welcomed addition to the Wolverines. We'll keep you posted as more information becomes available. Until next time, be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's talk about it. Talk to me in the comment section. Let me know what you think of Michigan's chances of landing Tristan Keys, flipping him from LSU. Do you think that it's a possibility? Also, let's talk about the other recruits that we talked about in this video. How do you think Jaziel Hart fits with Michigan? Do you think Michigan ultimately lands him? Jordan Thomas the same. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. Become a member if you haven't already. You get exclusive perks, including the Michigan Avengers show every first Monday of the month with myself, the Maniac, Kinetic, Johnny Olden Jr., and the guys over at the Michigan Voice of College Football channel. Until next time, stay angry, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down, son. I just don't get that all that Maize and that lot, that pump. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how the